pretend. Whoa. Hey everyone, this is Living Dead Gal and welcome back to another Sims 4 video. Today is a very special CAS collaboration video with the very talented Asphodel Moon over here on YouTube. This is her sim, Quinn, and I'm just going to showcase her outfits. So basically what we have decided to do is a sim swap, except we created, each of us created sims using no CC at all, only base game. The only CC you'll see on her right now is just a few defaults that I have going on, like her eyes and feet, but everything else is completely just base game, no CC. And both Asphodel Moon and I tend to use more alpha CC. So the challenge that we decided for ourselves was not only that we would create base sims for each other that have no CC and that are using just base game, but that then when we made them over, we would only use Maxis Match CC. And if you've seen my videos and if you know me, I do mix Alpha and Maxis Match. Like I use a lot of Maxis Match clothing and shoes and accessories, but for things like hair, eyes, and skin details, I definitely am more on the alpha side, especially with hair. So this is definitely, it was a challenge for me. I took out all of my CC and just kind of rebuilt a CC folder that was just Maxis Match CC, because I really wanted to make sure I knew if there was like even a single piece of alpha CC in there, I was going to start to gravitate towards it. So I wanted to just kind of have like a clean slate to work with of just Maxis Match. So a lot of this stuff is CC that I do normally have in my game, but I also did a little bit of shopping for some additional items. And I have to be honest, I struggled a lot with the skin details. As I was going through, I don't usually use Maxis Match skin details except for some by Kindle Spice, which those are just like, Kindle Spice has some of the absolute best skin details and I love using those on my sims, so that, you know, can carry over. So I actually stopped myself from using that one this time. But yeah, this was out of my comfort zone because I'm used to like all of my standard basics that add like a lot more like texture and detail to the face, and this was a chance to kind of play around with like more of the Sims like Maxis style, but still adding that detail. So there was still a lot of just incredible CC to use, and I struggled a lot with the hair as well. Not because, now I think there's beautiful Maxis Match hairstyles out there, amazing creators, and I do have a lot of Maxis hairs like sitting in my folder in my game because I love collecting CC, and I occasionally will dabble in creating like a sim with Maxis Match hair when doing like collaborations with friends, just like off camera. But it is new territory for me because I'm so comfortable with my alpha hair, so it was kind of a struggle going through and trying to like familiarize myself with all of this CC. Like normally when I'm in my game and I'm doing these videos, I know exactly, like I'm like, oh, okay, I have a hair that I think would work for this sim. I think it's by Wings, or I think it's by Anto. And this was a little different. This was definitely me kind of like exploring the CC as I was doing this makeover, which is, you know, definitely different from anything else that I've really done on this channel, other than when I've done sims based on like, you know, different styles from the kits and everything, but even then I was still, you know, creating sims that had a lot of alpha CC on them. Yeah, this was definitely very different for me, you know, and removing all of my alpha makeup. A lot of this makeup I already had like in my game anyway, but it's just I had like such a limited selection here, which if you've seen my other cast videos, I usually just am scrolling, and I just, you know, it was really me trying stuff that I haven't really used on a lot of my sims before, and kind of pushing myself out of my comfort zone and not going with like the things that I tend to default to, which was kind of nice. But again, also a challenge for me because a lot of times, you know, it's hard enough, like for me, I'm so picky when I'm styling my sims that it takes me a very long time, even when I am really comfortable with like what content I have in my game. And in this case, you know, I was not only being super picky, but I was also like really just exploring, you know, a different CC folder than what I'm used to. And one thing with Quinn, let me get into the actual sim here. So when I was looking at how Asphodel Moon, Amy, had styled her, which, you know, I thought she did a phenomenal job. I thought Quinn was just such a cute sim to begin with. I thought she looked perfect just with base game. Like, she doesn't need, you know, any CC or anything like that. So in doing her makeover, I wanted to just kind of like explore possibilities of customization options. So for her hair, I really liked this hair by Adrian Pastel because it allowed me to add this like really cool red streak, because she definitely had this more alternative vibe with like her style. She was wearing like pretty much all black and like grays and some whites in all of her outfits, and much darker makeup. So I wanted to kind of retain that look and definitely go for a more alternative style for her. And I just thought this hair was so cool. You know, I went through so many different hair options, and I wanted to keep her hair short to kind of retain her original look, but I thought this one was cool with like the wave in it. Like, I could imagine maybe she just added like a little bit of bounce to her hair to style it. And again, you know, I just really loved being able to add that red streak. I thought that was a really cool feature of that hair. And yeah, so her style is a lot of, I did introduce like more reds, as you can see with the hair, but it's just a lot of that sort of alternative look. So lots of things like little chains. We end up getting into some really cool like shoes, some really amazing boots that were recently released by Trelike. I don't know if it's Trilek or Trelike, but they're a really amazing CC creator. I have all their stuff in my game normally. And yeah, I thought the boots were just like fantastic. I really enjoyed those. And then I gave her like some chipped nail polish, because I thought that was kind of a cool effect. Just my goal here was really kind of seeing like, you know, what the Maxis Match custom content can do for your game that, you know, you don't get in a Maxis game. Because with Alpha, the difference is you can really like totally change how the Sims look and feel and give your game kind of a different aesthetic. Whereas with Maxis Match, it's matching the game, right? You know, you're kind of blending the Sims into the game, but you're having more customization features that aren't available in the base game or even with all the packs. So, you know, things like chipped nail polish, adding a streak to her hair, that, you know, it was just kind of fun to play around with that stuff, because again, I'm used to going more in like the hyper realistic sense. And, you know, in choosing her clothing, that, again, I use a lot of Maxis Match clothes anyway, but I was, like, really getting in my head about anything that I thought, like, was, like, crossing a line or getting, like, closer to Alpha. So, you know, I would, like, put something on her and I'm like, oh, I like that, but is that too Alpha? And I was kind of getting in my head, maybe a little too much, but I really wanted to push myself to really, like, try to make everything look super Maxis Matchy, because that's just a style that I don't normally do. And I'm overall like really happy with how she turned out. One thing that's funny to me is that I thought I had a ton of Maxis Match CC in my folder, but when I was actually in the game, I was like, oh, I don't have a lot downloaded. And you know, this might seem like a lot to some people, but I like hoard CC, you know, I'm so used to having so many options. So I was also working with like a more limited selection of options, and there's still tons of other Maxis Match creators that didn't make it into the folder, you know, for time's sake, but I just kind of picked some of my favorites and some new stuff that I found. And yeah, I was like, oh, I need more. Like, one thing that I really struggled with was the eyes. I didn't download enough Maxis eyes, so I ended up I didn't realize it, but I ended up downloading a default replacement that was in the Maxis Match style for eyes, and I ended up just sticking with those for her, because other ones that I tried, I couldn't get that like pure black that she had for her original eyes. So yeah, it was definitely different for me, definitely a challenge. Leave a comment below letting me know your thoughts on this, and if you would, you know, be interested in seeing more content like this, because it's definitely not my usual. I'm not opposed to it. I won't be changing my sim style, you know, for my Let's Plays or anything like that, but I do think Maxis Match CC is really beautiful. It's just not my comfort level, and I'm just more comfortable with Alpha, and that's just my style in game. But if you enjoy videos like this, I'm definitely open to doing more of this and practicing more with Maxis Match CC for CAS videos and things like that, or even, you know, I could consider doing a one-off challenge with Maxis Match, but my Let's Plays, they're gonna kind of stay, you know, how they are. That's just my sim style, and that's just how I like my game. But, you know, I have done some vanilla gameplay on my own, and, you know, have played with Maxis Match Sims, and I think, you know, I'm just always so impressed by people who create beautiful Sims in the Maxis Match style. I've always struggled with that. You know, Alpha has just been my comfort level, so I've always been so impressed by how just amazing some of these Sims and like the renders people make are. So it was kind of fun to like dip my toes into this. But anyway, we're about to the end of the video, so I'm gonna wrap this up here. But big shout out to Asphodel Moon. Please go check out her channel, and you can see her video where she does the same thing to my sim that was made using only base game. And we, you know, hopefully, like, you know, she really likes the sim that I made. I hope that I did Quinn justice, because I thought she did such a good job just on her base and like just making her with base game only. So I really hope she likes what I chose to do in the direction I went with for Quinn's Maxis Match makeover, and I'm really excited to see how she styled my sim. So I will put a link to her channel in the description box below, as well as a pinned comment with a link to her video, so you can go check it out over there. Please do show her some love. And with that, please comment, like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more content like this. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Nothing